Hello, my friends. I'm Raymond. I wanted to make a comment on the debate, and what you saw is an unhinged, pathological liar like Donald Trump, demagogue, taken to school. And I mean, let me just say this, because this is the core of the problem in this country, is that there are millions of people that are in denial that they're racist people. That's all there is to it. Period. If you're voting for a person who has been blatantly racist, just like Donald Trump, you're a racist person. That's all there is to it. There is no two ways about it. You can't use the excuse that, Hillary erased 30,000 emails. Okay, so she was, grilled about it by a witch hunt by the Trey Gowdy, and the Republican Congress spent $100 million on this shit. And however, they didn't. They don't mention that Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell and all the rest of the warmongers who took this country to war, and they're the ones who started this destabilization of the Middle East, and they created ISIS when they started this war. 1.4 million civilian Iraqis dead in both wars. That's genocide, ladies and gentlemen, committed by the United States government in a war that was based on lies told by George Bush, Dick Cheney, and the rest of the warmongers. And they don't mention that. They don't mention. They don't want to. When it comes to the crimes, these are actual crimes. Against humanity, war crimes committed by the president George W. Bush. And his cronies. They don't mention that. They don't mention the dozens of personnel, American personnel, killed in embassies during his tenure of 8 years, George Bush. They don't touch that. Not one investigation going into them. We're talking about like 2 million emails erased by these people. Nothing is said, but this lady erases some emails, and all of a sudden she's a criminal, and a war criminal. That's what they're saying, and then they go after her for Benghazi, for the death of 5 people, and this is after they had. She had asked, and other people had asked, funding to tighten up securities for embassies, U.S. embassies around the world, and the Republican Party voted it down. They said no. They say no to it. So, and they don't want to take responsibility for that. Instead, it's all become like these people don't. They think people are stupid. That they want to make a scapegoat out of Hillary Clinton. When the reality she's not a scapegoat. Then you have other people saying. I hear people saying, that's he would never deport 11 million people. He would never vet the people of Muslims from entering the United States. That would never happen. He's just saying that. It's like, okay, you do know that when you're supporting a candidate that's openly xenophobic against Muslim people, that he's said openly that Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers and murderers and all that stuff. When he's openly said that Judge Curiel from California cannot do his job because of his Mexican heritage, that is an openly, blatantly racist comment that he did make. When he has said that this is the worst time in history for black people in the United States, meaning this is worse than slavery when, according to him, nowadays it's worse for black people, which I'm a descendant of Africans and Native Americans. When he's saying that that means that this is worse than when they were enslaved and the slave owner walked into the slave's daughter's quarters and raped her at night. And when they cut off people's feet for running away to try to seek freedom, when they hung black people just because they were black and hunted them like animals, when the Ku Klux Klan was in the middle of their campaign of terror, he's saying that is not as bad as today. That is a absolutely profoundly racist statement right there. But people are saying that the people who are supporting this guy, they're saying, no, he's not racist, and I'm not racist. I'm just supporting him. And here's a couple of things that I've heard. Because he could point certain things out. Okay, he's already pointed a bunch of things out about how ignorant he is, about how racist and xenophobic and misogynist he is. And he's also pointed out who are the closeted racists in this country. Okay, so all those excuses that people are using, they're running out of excuses to say that they're not racist. If you vote for Donald Trump, you're a racist person, period. That's all there is to it. You're voting for a racist candidate. That's it, you know. And when Hillary asked him, hey, they said you're just flat out called him, you're a racist person. You got convicted, you got sued twice. Okay, and that's a crime. You know, racial discrimination is a crime. But he hides behind a corporation. Okay, so he instructed his personnel in the apartments that he and his father, a member of proud member in robe, Ku Klux Klan uniform wearing, Ku Klux Klan member, and a Nazi Party member, his father. and so is Donald Trump. They had to force him to disavow the endorsement from the Ku Klux Klan and every racist group in this country. So when Hillary told him, it's like, hey, you got sued not only once, twice for instructing your personnel to deny living in, to not let them turn down the applications to live in your apartments in New York. He said, and because they were black, he says but I was one of many people who got sued. And it's like, okay, so you were a member of a group of scumbags who got sued for refusing to rent apartments to black people. In other words, you were just a bunch of racist scumbags who got sued, so that makes you non-racist? No, you're just one of many racists. And then people say, whoa, that's a good answer. It's like, you're a fucking idiot, So, and then he says, well, we did, and by the way, we did not admit any wrongdoing. Gee, have you ever seen a company pay a settlement and admit wrongdoing? It's part of the lawyer's job to say, we will pay the settlement. However, you have to sign here saying that we don't admit, any wrongdoing, but you'll take the money. Okay? So if you know anything about legal work, I'm in the legal field, you know that that's a bunch of bullshit. Okay? So here's this man who got convicted of twice racial discrimination against black people, and he's being sued 3,500 times. 3,500 times this man has been sued in business, who openly admitted in front of 100 million people that he didn't pay the people who did the work for his hotels and his real estate development because he didn't think they did a good job. Bullshit. He stiffed a bunch of people out, and there were some of those in the audience. This guy is he doesn't pay people. He openly admitted not paying taxes. He refuses to let his taxes out. He comes out in conventions and the NRA morons and says that maybe those Second Amendment people, meaning the gun nuts in the country, should take care of her, meaning you should kill her. That you mean it twice. This man has twice called for the assassination of his rival, and people say, "Oh, he didn't mean that." Of course he did. You're just making up another excuse. Look. You're just a racist scumbag. That's all there is to it. You're just closeted, and you don't have the fucking balls to tell the world, you know what? I'm a racist piece of shit. I'm going to vote for a racist piece of shit. That's all there is to it. At least have the balls to stand up out there and say it. So we can shun you and not do business with you and shit like that. Me personally, I've shunned friends and family who are voting for this asshole. I don't need them in my life. Don't want them. I had one person that I'm done with, having association with him. He had the audacity to call my son some type of racial slur, tailored for Hispanics. I don't have to tolerate that. Eventually, all these racist people, they're gonna be remembered as just like the Nazis, as human trash. So it all depends on what side of humanity of the history of humanity you want to be. You want to be remembered as a piece of trash, or you want to be remembered as somebody when given the opportunity to stand up against fascism and against demagoguery, against the misogyny, against the homophobia that all these people. His what's his face, Mike Pence or whatever the fuck his name, and this guy, he wanted to make a registry of women who had miscarriages and counted as abortions. He supported shoving ultrasound probes of young women's vaginas before they were allowed to perform an abortion. This is the party who is still fighting teeth and nail to not allow LGBTQ or gay people to get married. Yet somehow they're not discriminatory. This is the party who has compared gay people, has called some of them for the death of gay people. That this man went on national TV, what's his face, Trump, and he openly advocated for the punishment of women who perform abortions, who have an abortion on her body. Are we going back to the 12th century? I'm wondering if he's going to advocate for an Inquisition panel. To see if somebody is Christian enough or right wing enough or I don't know. How much do people have to tolerate to say that enough is enough? And not only that, what is the threshold for this closeted racist people who are just making up all this excuses to vote for an openly racist person? What is their threshold to be treated as racist people? I'm telling you the truth. I'm calling them out in public. Wherever they start talking about it, say, you're voting for Trump? Yeah, you're a racist. That's all there is to it. Oh, no, but I don't want to hear it, man. You're a racist. Get the fuck away from me. We don't need to be doing business. We don't need to be. You have to. I'm done. Unless it's somebody that is so close to me, like a family member that I love dearly, and guess what? I tolerate it. But if it's somebody that's a particular and somebody that I do business at arm's length, I'm done. I don't want to. We're gonna have to shun these people and tell them fuck off. Go. Fantastic. That's your right to be a racist piece of shit. Just be it somewhere else. Okay, get away from me. I don't want you associating with my children. I don't want you. I don't want to do business with you. Stay the fuck away from me. That's what we're gonna have to do. You know, maybe they'll get the hint that, hey, man, we're tired of this shit. We're not. We're not. It's not. It's not that you're not informed, that you don't know that these guys are openly. No, you're a racist person, and I don't want to do. Have anything to do with you, unless it's absolutely necessary. So. Hey, I hope they don't need a kidney from me, because as far as I'm concerned, they can fucking die. I mean, and people say, "Oh, you're calling for the murder of people." I'm not calling for the murder of people. I'm just not going to piss on them if they're on fire. You're asking humanity to turn against itself, and the human race cannot go back there. You either evolve or stay behind. See ya.